Traxxas offers a few short course trucks. This is in 4-wheel drive, and if you've watched some of my videos, well, I really do like my 4-wheel drive Slash, especially the newer. Now I've had a few. I used to have the Platinum model back in the day. Actually, I think that was the best model because it didn't come with the transmitter receiver, and I already have that stuff. So I just had to put a receiver in there and just roll. It was LCG, GTR shocks, etc. Versus my Slash, the one that I'm currently driving is this one, but I upgraded to GTR shocks. I already had them. If you do not, it's about another $100 to upgrade, or you could go with the Slash Ultimate, price reduced, $500, and the Ultimate has the aluminum, winter plastics, GTR shocks. Now mine doesn't have the aluminum; it just has winter plastics all around, and they're awesome. They're really good. The winter plastics are very good, but probably I would say my favorite is actually the Max. So this is a new short course based on the Max platform, which is great. Now, if you're familiar with the Max, so here's the Max, and the Max is a good vehicle, but I'm not too big in, say, this style of monster truck, and the reason why is to me, it doesn't really look like a monster truck. And if you say, well, it's more like a 4-wheel drive stadium truck, stadium trucks don't look like trucks. These in RC, I'm talking about RC. This comes out too much. There's just something about them that I've never gravitated toward them, to be honest. I prefer short course. That's my preference. If you prefer monster truck, then you prefer monster truck. But the components are quite reinforced. The shocks are quite big bore shocks. They're bigger than the regular GTR shocks that would go into a regular Slash. Hubs as well, arms, everything. Plastics are great. I mean, some people have broken the chassis, for example, but they're probably abusing it a little too much. I'm just saying. But as far as the components that you get, I would say they're high quality components that you get. So this is the Max, and I'm going to leave it here so we can compare it with the Max Slash. Now keep in mind, the Max Slash is larger than a regular Slash. So they're not the same scale. This is larger. Finding tires for it will probably be Traxxas only, and it'll be a pain if you want something else. But if you're good with what comes in the box, then there you go. But notice the components are the same. Look at the type of shocks, the threads here, and smooth bore here. I mean, they're the same shocks. You look at the chassis, everything else. They just replaced the bumper. They put a short course bumper, which I prefer this over the monster truck. That's the other thing I like about short course. The bumper actually, it actually takes some blows because it's a spring. It's this here. This is a massive spring. But you get the same winter plastics. You get a wheelie bar. I mean, the other one has a wheelie bar. But again, it's a short course truck, and it looks like a truck. And that's what I love about this truck. It just looks like the truck. It's larger than the Slash. So if we look at this here, for example, let's see, what would be a good comparison? Wheelbase, maybe. So if we go wheelbase, we're looking at 394. Wheelbase. Let's look at the Max just for fun. Wheelbase. So this is a monster truck. It's shorter, so the other one was 394. So longer. Ooh, it probably takes high-speed turns a lot better too. Well, this one has a wider width in the front. I'm curious now. But if we go into a regular Slash, and what are the dimensions? I'm in the wrong one. Details. Here we go. I thought I was in the correct page. But if we go into dimensions here, which I probably skipped again, does it give me the dimensions? I may have to go into the, here we go, specs. You were right, it was the wrong button. But if we go specs, and now we go into wheelbase, here we go, wheelbase, we have 324, so that is 70 millimeters, 70 millimeters, so 7 centimeters. That is going to be about 3 inches, roughly. So it's quite a difference. It's definitely much larger. So it's also going to depend on the space that you have. For example, my backyard, very small. This truck would not work. The regular Slash is good enough, and even the regular Slash sometimes feels big. But if you're out in a park, this is perfect, especially because it's 4-wheel drive and it has the power, and you can just ride over the grass. Because that's something that I've mentioned in the past in some other videos. High CG is really nice for the grass. That's the reason why my regular Slash, so my Slash 4x4, even though I have an LCG chassis, I decided to go with a high CG just because it bogs down with the LCG. But something like this with the larger tires, more torque. So more torque, you have a bigger motor. You're going to be able to ride over that grass. So this is definitely a very good option for the park. This is something I would go with, assuming it's within budget. So keep that in mind before you say, well, I'd rather have the other Slash for less than $400 versus this one for $600, $700. Well, that's something to keep in mind. I'm not mentioning price point. I'm just mentioning why this is a cool vehicle. And yes, I would take this over the regular Max, because this is short course and this looks like a truck. But that being said, the system is, you can run it up to 6S. I would not. I think 4S is overkill. But you could go all the way up to 6S on this vehicle. Beautiful thing. Perfect. Right here, the shafts. This is a really neat design. So it's a hybrid design because you use metal components with plastic components. And the beautiful thing is that unlike the regular Slash, so if you've bought the regular Slash, say the 4-wheel drive, I keep saying regular, but base, they're non-belted tires. So once you put power in there, you really want some belted tires. I think the Bandito C3 tires are belted. I could be wrong on that one. But you definitely want some belted tires, or the trenchers, Proline trenchers, they have a belted version, or else they're just going to balloon. It's going to hit the body. You're going to roll. You're just going to lose control, because if they don't balloon evenly and then it hits the body, you're going to flip over or lose control and then flip over. Versus these are all belted, which is something that's very nice. So you do get belted tires out of the box, and I believe it's a closed cell foam for these. I could be wrong. No, it might be open cell. So forget about the foam for now, but at least they're belted tires. Here we go. Nice clean setup. You do get the aluminum components where needed to keep temperatures down. So this is all aluminum, servo. This part of the body is aluminum as well. And you get some other reinforcement parts in aluminum. So compared to the Max, you get plastic. Nothing wrong with plastic. Plastic will flex or break. Aluminum will flex or bend. Sometimes it can break, but once it bends, it'll drive. It will not drive very well, and sometimes it takes a while for one to figure out that a part is bent. So that is a downside from aluminum, but I would still take the Slash over the Max. Well, this being said, I hope this video was informative or at least entertaining. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Oh, my hair! My car! My rod!